everybody. Welcome back. It's episode number 23 of the Fantasy Cast. I'm Lachlan McTagg. Joined alongside me is Ty White. Unfortunately, Christian Hageth could not make it back with us today. He's got some important schoolwork to focus on, so we wish him nothing but the best in that, obviously.
Ratings are going to go through the roof on this episode.
Oh, geez. No, don't do him like that. Christian's been wonderful with us. He's done terrific. But yeah, episode 23. Last week, we didn't really talk about too much. We just had a bit of a laid back episode, but there is this thing called, the Super Bowl coming up this Sunday. But before we jump into that, Ty, we got to start, how's life, man?
It's wonderful. Well, obviously Super Bowl week is very special. So you're looking forward to that. It's a week of healthy eating until the clock ticks to 12:00 on Super Bowl Sunday. Then it's just a day of eating. I mean, it's Thanksgiving on crack. You're going in for everything. Diets are thrown out the window. So I'm looking, that's obviously going to be fun, but doing well. Recently signed up for 3-on-3 basketball, Lachlan. Played 4 years in high school. Dropped like 25 points a game, just how it's going to be. And yeah, Super Bowl special episode. We haven't done a Super Bowl special, Lachlan, in a year. Throwback to when we were on a show called SAC Today at our high school. That had over 600 hits. So
yeah, that was something special. We came up with the idea, us two, last year. We hosted a segment on the news show there called the Sports Desk. We had so much, I don't know. I had so much fun producing that show and doing that show, but the Super Bowl special was something else. Like, we just asked some outrageous questions. I went around our boarding houses and asked like the most unsuspecting people, like just weird questions.
Yeah. And it merged together perfectly.
Yeah. And it worked perfectly. It was hilarious. We got good reviews on it. So, this one's probably going to be a bit more in-depth and a bit more like football related, I'd say, than our Sports Desk Super Bowl special.
We don't have anyone to interview except each other. So
yeah. So it's going to be a little bit more in-depth for sure. But I'm glad everything's good on your end, though. That's Also, congrats. You were telling me before the show, I'll just make this known to everybody, that you're doing color commentary for the Ryerson women's basketball team. That's fantastic.
Thank you very much.
Nothing but the best. I know you're saying you're doing notes for like 2 hours. That's awesome.
Oh yeah, taking notes a lot, because I've done PAing before. I have a job as a PA announcer, but this is the first time actually getting called to do. It's called RAMS Live and broadcast on OUA.TV, which is really cool. So I'm looking forward to that. But Lachlan, we both got haircuts, which is good.
We did.
How are you doing?
Oh yeah, I'm doing all right here. It's the weather's been so weird. It's been like flooding, and like now it's like above 0 Celsius here.
Flooding.
It's like, yeah, like it's just been strange. We've gotten rain, a little bit of snow. There's been just ice everywhere parts, but the weather, it's been weird. But hockey wise, we're trending in the right direction now. We've won 3 in a row. Which is nice. We have 7 games left in the regular season before playoffs. We actually have a game tomorrow, or I guess tomorrow, as in like the date of which we're recording. Today. But today, technically, by the time the episode is out, the game will have already happened. So this is kind of weird that I'm talking about it. But anyway, but yeah, we have 7 games left until the end of the regular season. We're right now in the middle of the pack, just kind of fighting for playoff position right now. Just need to win games really and just get the job done. But it's been all right.
That's awesome, man. Good to hear it. And I'm just so happy that we like build up all season. We started from preseason to now. It's the Super Bowl is finally here, and we got to do it.
Nuts.
I'm looking forward to it, Locke. What do we got for today? What's the schedule looking like?
Well, first off, we're going to go in depth a little bit into the matchups, to the teams, talk about the game itself, because it's the People's Super Bowl. You can't go wrong with the Super Bowl. It's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking matchups, even potential MVPs. And then after, we're going to get into a little fun. We're going to give some prop bets for you. And we haven't been ones who've known to dip our toe into the sport betting side.
Mm.
Of fantasy football and football, and the Super Bowl is just betting galore.
Yeah, personally, I've never been a betting man myself.
No, neither have I. I've in recent years though, I've gotten to understand it more.
Yeah.
but
Oh yeah.
I've
Like I
never.
understand it quite well.
Yeah,
I've never bet on any sports game, period.
no,
Because that it'd be a dangerous thing if you get addicted to that. You want
yeah,
to be careful, calculate.
yeah. But we're gonna get into some prop bets, and I think some of them you guys are gonna laugh at. They're gonna be pretty funny.
Pretty
Um,
humorous. But
but
before
we should
that, you
hop.
want to
Yeah.
let's talk about something that's even more humorous than Super Bowl prop bets. And that was the Pro Bowl. I mean, that
Oh
thing
my
was
god.
a joke. That was the punchline of the NFL season. I
Yeah.
it 10 second synopsis. It was essentially a two-hand touch game where players were running half-ass. Herbert won offensive MVP. Max Crosby won defensive MVP. That's all you need to know about that. Period.
Stephon Diggs caught a touchdown, and Trayvon Diggs was going for the tackle, and he fell. That
Yeah.
was pretty funny.
He pointed.
But yeah, it was like it was funny because do you know that you probably know that guy on TikTok? He's on Instagram too. It's like Coach 30.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like not really an athlete.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. He did a hilarious Pro Bowl video. And then he just shows a clip. He shows a clip and he's like, I mean, look how hard these defensive linemen are working. And like the linemen are just like literally standing straight up. And the offensive and defensive linemen just have their hands on each other's shoulders. It's just hilarious. But you know what? I don't blame him because the Pro Bowl is just going to be even more of a joke too, because why would you risk playing like a full out game after you've played a season? Plus some of these players have played in playoffs, right? Like,
yeah, absolutely.
Why would you like
sure.
the fact that they're actually there, like the fact that Stephon Diggs, like a week or two, 2 weeks after like a pretty crushing loss,
Yeah, and the Chiefs
is attending the Pro Bowl. Yeah, like the fact that those guys are there is crazy.
Yeah, 49ers too. I mean, Devo was there, and so
yeah, that's asking a lot of these players mentally to shake off a season-ending loss when you've worked since, I don't know, July, August, work towards something, and it comes down to one game, and then you have a crushing loss, and then you got to come back next week and be like, oh, it's the Pro Bowl.
Yeah,
like
and
it's tough.
It wasn't the most. Thank God for Micah Parsons and Max Crosby. Those guys were going. I think Parsons actually made the first tackle of the game, like actual tackle. So, it's always a fun event, but that's just the nature of the sport that you can't be going 100. Like people in missing. Obviously missing because he passed away, but Sean Taylor, when he actually played, there was that he was playing pro, hit the fake punt at the punter's trying to run, and he comes and just 110 decks him like RJ Umber getting laid flat on the ice. I mean, that was literally what it was like.
That's gotta be one of my favorite like football clips.
Yeah. That thing
is literally Sean Taylor, rest in peace, in the Pro Bowl.
The whole crowd just goes like, oh, like you don't do that in a real game.
You pull a fake punt in the Pro Bowl, but you don't get you don't like deck someone in the Pro.
You don't light up people, let alone tackle people in the Pro Bowl. Like he didn't care, and I respect him so much. But yeah, the Pro Bowl is just, I don't know. It's not.
It is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. But the Super Bowl's here, so real football. Like people, when we see a good tackle, everyone's gonna be so happy. It's gonna be a good game.
Yeah. So, Ty, why don't you hop in with maybe a little bit matchups, talk about the Super Bowl a little bit? Because, I mean, it's, again, I said it off the hop, but it's just an ideal matchup.
It is a very ideal matchup.
So good.
Like you said, it's the people's matchup. You don't really hate anyone here. Like I mentioned to you before that the AFC Championship matchup was my nightmare matchup because you had the Chiefs and Mahomes. On the other end, you had someone who's in Herbert's draft class who was drafted before him, and he's already won 3 playoff games. Herbert hasn't even been in a playoff game yet. However, that's not to say that I don't respect Joe Burrow. And bit of a soft spot for him. He dresses like the Rock, like the way he showed up to the AFC Championship game. He's a really funny guy, and he's really relaxed. I respect him a lot. So it's a good matchup for America and the world in that sense. But it's also a very interesting matchup because you have a team with an elite offense and good receiving cores. Both have good receiving cores and pretty good
a revamped running game too.
For sure, revamped running game. I mean, you look at Mixon and Akers, Henderson, but it's just an all-around. It's a pretty good matchup. The weak point here, and this is the thing that many people think will decide the game, including myself, is the offensive lines. I mean, the Rams are pretty solid offensive line. Andrew Whitworth also, he was actually a Bengal, which is pretty cool. He's facing his old team, and he's the only left tackle to ever start in the NFL over the age of 40, which is
Crazy.
That's amazing. Let alone it being a 20-year-old, 30-year-old. It's hard. You're 40 and you're doing this. He's like the Brady of left tackles.
Yeah, he seriously is, because
Yeah.
playing quarterback for whatever 15 NFL seasons is a lot different than being a lineman for 15
Sure.
NFL seasons.
Like he can sit in the pocket, Brady, and it's more of a technical thing. But Whitworth's in the trenches, and Wentworth's in the
every
trenches.
play.
Yeah, it's hard work, but it's gonna be interesting because they were criticized early on, and rightfully so, the Bengals, for having a pretty tragic offensive line. Just result of not drafting in that particular position and not too much talent being there. But it's worked out for them so far. The closest they come to losing has been that first game against the Titans when Joe Burrow was sacked 8-9 times, which usually no team comes out winning a game with getting sacked that many times. So the most interesting part we would see the Rams D-line against this O-line. Now, I personally think that will be the deciding factor. As Aaron Donald, 12.5 sacks in the season. Von Miller has 9.5, and oh my gosh, just forgot his name, but someone else has 9.5. That's combined over like near 30 sacks. That is incredible.
It's a sizable margin.
It's going to be very difficult if the Rams can't manage that. They're going to have to play. Sorry, the Bengals can't manage that. They're going to have to play an efficient game passing the ball. It's weird because you can't run Aaron Donald. You can't sit back and give too much time to let Aaron Donald and that D-line come at you. So I think it's going to be really interesting. But looking back in the past, I mean, you've had you might have a Cinderella story at O-line. Like there was one where I believe it was the Packers were playing the Denver Broncos in the Super Bowl. I think it was 1998. And
was that John Elway's final game?
It might have been John Elway's final game, but they were expected to lose that game. Or it was a Super Bowl where the Broncos won, and their O-line was viewed as very small, and it looked like they were going to get crushed that game. And they played amazing. They were a great reason why the Broncos were able to win that game. So it ultimately comes down to the Bengals O-line in this one. In my opinion, that's the biggest part. Stopping 30 sacks, giving your quarterback time to have a good game. Obviously, Joe is already one of the best in the game right now. Definitely top, probably say 7 or 8 range for sure. It's going to be interesting. Do you have any thoughts yourself, Lachlan? I'm sure you got a bunch.
Yeah, I think for Cincinnati, I mean, I wonder how often you look to screen passes throughout the game and trying to mobilize your offensive line away from Aaron Donald. Either try and double team him on a screen pass or something. Because if you try and run the ball through the gaps, like the Rams are gonna get you no matter where. If you sit back and try and look for receivers downfield, the pocket's gonna collapse pretty quick. And Joe Burrow is a pretty mobile QB, and he can take a hit. So the Bengals probably aren't necessarily worried about him like getting sacked. It's just a matter of can the O-line hold up when they only rush 4?
Yeah.
Right? Because as soon as the Rams start rushing 5, 6, then any team, regardless of their of the skill of their O-line, is going to be in a bit of hot water up against that Rams D-line, right?
Sure.
So if the Bengals can kind of hold their own to a certain extent and allow Burrow a little bit of time when the Rams rush 4, because we're talking about their D-line, but their secondary is also pretty good. Right? Like they have good corners, obviously Jalen Ramsey.
Of course. And then Eric Weddle. I was watching film on him.
Came out of retirement.
He didn't really make plays in the secondary in the games that he's played. But if he's been a great run stopper. He's been clutch on run stopping, actually. They had some amazing plays where he just clogs the lane. He's a very instinctive safety. I remember when he obviously is a Chargers fan. You remember when he played for your team. And he was a great safety. And I was surprised because, sometimes you bring in veterans late in the season and it seems too good to be true. And usually it is too good to be true and it doesn't eventually pan out, but it's working for them so far. The team is so dynamic in every aspect. You have Stafford, who's just he deserves this so much. I'm so happy for him that he's finally getting his opportunity. He probably deserves it more than anyone to actually be there and probably win. I'd say second would be Aaron Donald because I mean that guy
The
is
difference is Aaron Donald's been to a Super Bowl though.
for sure.
Aaron,
He has been to a
the
Super Bowl.
difference is Aaron Donald's been to a Super Bowl, and him and his defense certainly did their job in that Super Bowl.
I mean, yeah, allowing
Yeah,
12 points against Tom Brady, like
yeah.
that, you feel for him a little bit. So he's very deserving of it as well. Also mentioned Wentworth for people who deserve to win a Super Bowl.
But yeah, I feel like the Bengals defensively throughout the playoffs, they've just stepped up in just key moments all around the field. Like you look in the Kansas City game,
Yeah,
they stepped up big time
it's a very good point.
on numerous occasions against a very talented offense, maybe even more talented than the Rams.
Mhm. I mean,
Right?
you're totally right. Making good picks. Like I used the word instinctive before. They have very instinctive plays over there. Even Trey
Yeah.
Hendrickson on defense, he's phenomenal. He's had his best year yet, and then
Yeah.
it's really showing. Pretty good in the run game as well. The Rams don't have an amazing run game. I mean, they have
The Rams don't have an amazing run game, but one thing I think could come out of this game is that the Bengals will be so focused on stopping Cooper Kupp that the moment the Rams try and run the ball, they're just going to get slaughtered.
yeah. I
Right?
mean,
I
that
don't
could
know.
very well
There's
be
just there's just potential for that because
no, for sure.
obviously McVay's a genius and
Yeah.
he can read the game so well, and his memory is so good that he knows exactly what play is going to be called against him.
Yeah,
Right?
that awesome video that came out. Even when he was on when he was a coordinator in Washington, he was recalling plays of what actually happened, which is just ridiculous. I mean,
Well, that we're getting off topic here, but that staff that they had Shanahan
they had Kyle
there,
Shanahan and
and
Matt
then they
LaFleur,
had
I think is the other
yes,
one. Yeah.
and they still went like
Three
what
head coaches. Oh, that's insane.
three
That's
head coaches, three like good quality head coaches,
absolutely three
but
three fantastic coaches in the NFL.
yeah,
I mean, those are like
probably
probably
three of
in
the
the top
best,
10. Yeah.
three of the best, arguably, obviously, but
Yeah, like Matt
yeah,
LaFleur hasn't had a season below what, like 11, 12 wins yet in Green. I
yeah.
mean, it is Green Bay for sure, but
Anyway, we're getting
that's
off topic
very,
here.
very, very no. But you're right. That's impressive. But the other player was that I want to mention was Malcolm Floyd. I think it was with 9.5. Actually, did I get that wrong again? Leonard Floyd. I said
Leonard
Malcolm Floyd the other
Floyd,
day too. Leonard Floyd. He's an amazing player as well.
he
Um,
is.
yeah, but I'm really looking forward to this matchup. Another really interesting thing is the receiver DB matchups. I mean, you look at the
Yep,
number ones. You have Cooper Kupp on you have Cooper Kupp on probably like Eli Apple. I assume would be the one to take him. And then,
he might have to get some safety help there.
absolutely, you need to
He
have
will
help
need some
for
safety help.
linebacker, but I think Zach Taylor is a good coach. Actually, people didn't think he was a good coach when he went 3-13, but that wasn't really his fault in the end. It was injuries
No,
and stuff like that. He needs
no.
some time to rebuild because he's a fairly new coach, but he's done a great job. I think they'll have a good game plan. I think the Bengals will keep this one in the ballpark. But in the end, nothing's
Yeah,
going.
I just think I think that what could happen here is that the Bengals will start off well, but I feel like the Rams will just set a pace for the whole game and just maintain that pace.
Great point.
Whereas I feel like in the latter portion of the games, I think Cincinnati might just burn out mentally because there's so many veterans on that Rams team.
Yeah, a lot of guys
Right. And
never done
again,
that.
I've talked about this in the past about how Aaron Donald stepped up when he was challenged by Von Miller.
Yeah,
And I mean, those two in a dressing room together, like Von Miller's won a Super Bowl, man, he wants to do that again.
yeah,
Everyone in that room wants to do it solely for Aaron Donald.
yeah.
And Matt Stafford, obviously, yes, but Matt Stafford's got to the playoffs,
Yeah.
right? Like
With not
yeah.
the greatest of teams as well. I think that's an important thing to mention.
But he's got to the Super Bowl now, and people are like, okay, Matt, like Stafford can do this,
yeah,
but
I
we need to
absolutely
rally around Aaron Donald, and he's just gonna be a loose cannon out there and just be firing on all cylinders and just
he's never
attacking that.
I don't remember a bad game that Aaron Donald's ever had, and he's always ready for the big moments. And even when he played at he played at Penn, a lot of people forget that he played at Penn,
Yep.
not Penn State, like
Penn
Pitt. Played at Pitt. He played
or
at
Pitt.
Pittsburgh,
Why did I
University
say
of
Penn
Pittsburgh.
as well?
Yeah, I said Penn too. University of Pittsburgh. He was great there,
Whatever. Yeah.
but not highly recruited out of high school. He's
Neither
been
was Cooper Cup.
no, now there's Cooper. Now there's a lot of the players on this team.
Yeah,
Uh,
seriously.
but I think he's just going to take over. He's going to show up so ready. He's been waiting this moment his entire life, and he knows it's not a secret that the O-line has been questionable on the other side of the ball. I mean, he's
Yeah.
ready to tear them to shreds.
He smells blood,
Absolutely. And
right?
the other thing I wanted to mention too, because I forgot we were going through matchups before, you have Jalen Ramsey covering probably Jamar Chase. That should be really cool.
That's going to be a cool matchup. But
yeah, arguably the
on
best
the Bengals side of the ball, you got to look for big games from T. Higgins or Boyd or even Uzima to step in, because he's been kind of quiet in the playoffs.
He hasn't had a big game in a long time, but
No.
You're right. T. Higgins will probably be one of the deciding factors if the Bengals are able to stay in this. It's really neat. Let's pull up. We're going through some neat stats. Let's pull up some cool stats. As I mentioned, this is an all SEC championship quarterback matchup.
It is
in the Super Bowl. Last time that happened was Manning Newton. I was mentioning Super Bowl 50. We go back further. Super Bowl. Oh my God, I forget which one it was, but it's Manning and Grossman. You probably don't know Grossman. He was a Florida quarterback. And then the other earliest matchup is Fran Tarkenton, who was a great Minnesota Viking. And then he played Ken Stabler, who was a great quarterback for the Oakland Raiders. I don't know if it was Oakland at that point. I don't know if it was Los Angeles or something like that. But there's the fourth time in history that it's an all SEC quarterback matchup. That's really cool.
It's pretty cool.
Something else probably noteworthy to mention. This is a fact. I'm pulling this up from CBS Sports. Crazy but true. The Bengals wearing their black uniforms for the Super Bowl. They'll be wearing their black uniforms. And teams that do not wear white in the Super Bowl are 20-35 all time since Super Bowl 39. And since Super Bowl 39, they are 3-14. That's a .176 winning record. So
yeah,
numbers don't really lie.
Yeah. Now, I mean, how many? I guess that the one Super Bowl I can think when Brady lost in white, or lost in white, was against Philly.
Yeah, when he dropped the pass.
That was the Philly special. Yeah. But then in 2008, the Patriots wore blue.
Yeah.
And the Giants, that was when Tyree had the helmet catch, and they wore white.
Every time they played the Giants, they wore blue.
Fascinating.
In the Super Bowl. Yeah, that was a crazy game. I hope that more than anything,
the Bengals. So would the Rams better not be wearing their like bone colored jerseys?
No. Oh, it's not the bone marrow. It's the white ones.
Okay, good. Those are the ones.
Like the bone marrow ones.
No, because they're white ones. They're like whatever they call them, like modern throwbacks, I think they call them. Those should just be their away jerseys. Those just should have been their away jerseys from the start.
It's the only thing that
people
probably don't like about the Rams is their jerseys. They're not terrible.
Their old jerseys were so good.
I totally.
But I don't know.
Especially the one where it was like throwback to Eric Dickerson era, where it was just yellow on top of blue. That was so nice. One thing I also want to mention coming into this matchup, we have a former Super Bowl MVP on defense also playing in Von Miller, and since joining the Rams, this is really interesting. He had 16 tackles for a loss. That ranks first since he joined the Rams. 7 sacks, which ranks fourth, and 46 pressures, which is tied for 10th. I mean, this D-line is ridiculous.
I give a lot of credit to Aaron Donald in that, because when you're game planning against Von Miller in Denver, you're like, okay, it's Von Miller.
Yeah,
that's double team Von Miller. Worry about the rest of them. If someone else other than Von Miller sacks you, then good on them.
Yeah.
But now you have Donald, who is an indefinite double team. And if you don't, it's a mistake. And then Von Miller's running down on one-on-one matchups. Like it's a lot of that is attributed to the Aaron Donald effect, but still Von Miller, he's a veteran now. He's undoubtedly past his prime, but he's still going strong though.
Just further adds to his first ballot Hall of Fame resume. He's doing great things, and upcoming as well before the Super Bowl, the NFL Honors, which is the NFL award show. I like watching it every year. I think it's Thursday actually. So when you're seeing this episode, it'll be tomorrow night. I'm looking forward to that. Keegan-Michael Key. I always like that watching that stuff. I just love the award shows and the jokes to make beforehand. So that should be fun. But we're gonna give our predictions now, and then let's move on to some of the fun stuff that we have planned because everyone wants to get that. Lachlan, what is your prediction for the Super Bowl?
So for the Super Bowl, I am going to say 27-16 in favor of the Rams.
That's a very, very respectable score. And I have a similar final score, actually. I think the Rams are going to win. I'm going to say 30-17.
Yeah.
That's my guess. I just think they're going to pull away at the end.
Yeah, that's exactly my thinking as well.
And they were, I remember, I think I said this 3-4 weeks ago. They're my pick to win the Super Bowl. So
yeah.
I hope I keep right about that because we had some terrible picks looking back at this.
Well, yeah, I mean,
you started off hot. You started off 4-0.
I was 6-0. 6-0.
6-0.
No,
6-0.
I started 6-0. Then the next week I went 0-4.
Oh yeah.
But it's hilarious because you were the one originally to doubt the Bengals at home against the Raiders.
Yep.
Going back, you said the Raiders were gonna get it done against Cincinnati, and
I wasn't far off. I mean, that was a lot of people. That was a one possession game.
Yeah, no, it absolutely was. And you weren't far off by any means, but it's just funny looking back now how Cincy, how we've gone against Cincy every single week.
Yeah, I've not picked them to win once yet, and I don't know. Just prove me wrong. Yeah. Prove me wrong once more in the Super Bowl. I also think that it certainly does help. This game is being played at SoFi. That is absolutely in favor of the Rams.
Yeah.
Not for a crowd reasons, but there's comfortability in their own home.
Comfortability. There's got to be something special about playing the Super Bowl and getting dressed in your own locker room.
Yeah, I mean that's really cool, and
yeah,
for sure. So I'm looking forward to it. Lachlan, let's get to the fun stuff.
Oh man.
What do we have?
It's prop bet time. It is prop bet time, everybody. So we have a couple of fun prop bets for you. Just with simple stuff, and we'll weigh in on this. But for the Super Bowl, it's betting season.
Yeah. And
there's just so if you research any prop bets, you can find so many just crazy, ridiculous ones.
Yeah.
So first one we're going, it's kind of obvious, is who's going to win the coin toss, Ty?
I think the Bengals will win the coin toss.
You know what? I'm going the same way.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why. Because Burrow's going to pick heads, and it's going to, or I feel like, or no, the road team would pick, the team in white picks, don't they?
Yeah, it's technically not.
Yeah,
it's technically not home.
It's not. No, it's not a home game for the Rams.
So
Stafford's gonna pick tails.
Yeah, I think so. First one, we'll say the Bengals will win. Okay, and we'll look back at these next week and see if these actually hit or not, because we'll see if we could have been millionaires off what we're about to say right now.
Yeah. So the next one, this one's good one. This one's a good one. The national anthem. So this year, the national anthem is sung by Mickey Guyton. And the over under on the national anthem, according to some betting odds here, -147 for over 95 seconds, and under 95 seconds is +110. 95 seconds, a minute and 35 seconds.
35 right there.
Yeah.
I think.
What are you hammering the over or under on this one?
It's so tough because I just saw a TikTok on this, and Mickey Guyton is they call her, literally, I'm not making this up, her nickname was Quickie Mickey or something like that, because she's known for racing through national anthems. However, this is the Super Bowl, it might be more like take your time, have fun with it, or it might be like you're crapping your pants singing in front of 300 million people.
No, I think the last thing that people singing the anthem at Super Bowls think about is like being nervous about singing in front of that many people.
That's the thing. I hope
that's what they do,
So that's why I'll take over a minute 35.
You're going over,
but not by much. but I'll take an over.
You know what? I was gonna if you, I was hoping you went under because because you were doing research into Mickey Guyton, but because I wanted to join the overs club, but I will go under.
You'll
I
go
think
under.
she stays true. By the way, those odds on the over under, minus 47 for the over, plus 110 for the under.
I wonder if just like off the top of my head, if like people have to sign who are working on this show and working on the performance, like agreements not to bet or go over or stuff like that, because they
There's
know.
definitely there has to be some
Yeah,
clauses in the
there's got to be,
contract
or else.
because there's no way you're like a stage manager, or no, not even a stage manager. You like help put together the set
Yeah.
at SoFi.
Mm.
There's no way you haven't heard her sing the full rendition and like haven't timed it.
Yeah, or even like sometimes they do special effects for these things. Sometimes
Yeah.
there's sound effects in between certain lyrics of the national anthem, so you have to take that has to be taken into account. And people,
God.
I'm sure, like you said, rehearsals, you got to know something about what's going to happen. So I don't know. That's an interesting thought. But yeah, so you're under, I'm over for that one.
So the next one, again, these are so funny. The next one, Super Bowl halftime show, right? We have Dr. Dre,
It's a loaded
Mary J.
lineup. This is a
Yeah, Dr.
loaded
Dre,
lineup.
Snoop Dogg, Kendrick, Eminem, and Mary J. Bliggy. I think that's how you say it. I think I'm
Couldn't tell you.
probably wrong on that, likely. So sorry to anyone who is a fan. Um, artist to perform first. Dre is plus 150, Mary J plus 200, Snoop plus 375, Kendrick plus 650, Eminem plus 700. Ty, who do you think is gonna perform first at the Super Bowl halftime show?
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you. I don't think it's gonna be for Eminem's definitely. I think he's gonna be middle of the pack. I don't think he's gonna be last. I think he's gonna.
Eminem will be like, yeah, I agree with that because I feel like Eminem they'll do some of his like more upbeat songs. I feel like,
Absolutely. But I think it's going
yeah,
to be a combination of Snoop Dogg and Dre.
yeah.
I think so. Oh God, probably give the edge to. That's so tough. I'm just
It
like
is.
it's so
There's a
rough.
lot of artists at play here.
Yeah,
Like I
yeah,
remember last. I remember last year the big thing was which song is the Weeknd going to perform first.
yeah,
But now that we have a variety of artists, it's like it's crazy
yeah.
difficult to try and decide
Absolutely. But just
who's going to
for the
perform
sake of doing
first.
this, I'm going to say that Snoop Dogg performs first, followed closely after by Dr. Dre, where they're going to come in and do
Yeah,
something together. What about you?
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with Kendrick.
Okay.
I'm going with Kendrick. I don't know. I don't know why. I feel like they might come out strong with like Humble or something like that. They might just like get the crowd going right off the hop and
All you
just
hear is boom, boom.
yeah. I don't yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have a strange feeling that the producers or coordinators for it are like a little bit too old to be into this kind of into like Kendrick's music because he's a lot newer
Sure.
than Eminem or Dr. Dre or Snoop.
Yeah.
So I feel like they're gonna be like hammering his popular songs. So I don't know.
No, I
I think
totally.
Kendrick will surprise people.
And that's the other thing. You
Come out
don't have
first.
since you have so many artists, you don't have many time to. You don't have much time to go into the deep
You
tracks
you
or
yeah
more
you
more
you
to
gotta
them.
go with your big stuff,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
The stuff that it's provocative. What does that even mean? Gets the people going.
It's the people going.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, that's some betting odds. By the way, Eminem and Kendrick are the two highest at plus 700 and plus 650 respectively.
Mm.
Just thought I should throw that out there. Lastly, we don't have betting odds on this, unfortunately, but opening kickoff. Ty, will the opening kickoff be returned or will it be a touchback?
So you made a great point about this before the show. Obviously, SoFi Stadium it's not technically a dome because you're still open from the
There's a
side.
roof.
I mean, weather's not affecting the game. In like if it's extremely cold maybe or extremely warm of course, but like wind wise and wind factor, um So that being said, I think the kick will go out the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Damn.
That's just me.
And see, unfortunately, I think the same thing. And I hate to, when we only have two of us, I hate to like go with the person
Yeah.
and agree. Because obviously when you disagree, it makes it a little bit more interesting.
Oh, for sure. But to
But
play devil's advocate, I mean, it very
yeah,
well could be returned. I mean, we saw it. What was it, one or two?
here's the craziest thing about this prop bet is we're making the assumption based on the fact that we have no clue who won the toss.
Yeah.
We have no clue whether Evan McPherson or Matt Gay is kicking that off.
If it's like, and that's the other thing too.
McPherson's probably putting it through the uprights.
Yeah, no,
That
exactly.
guy's probably so amped up to get going. He's probably like putting that through the uprights for a field goal kick.
No, you made a good point. It's about that as well, and even nerves play a huge factor, especially maybe not if you're quarterback as much or a veteran, but if you're a kicker, you're kicking off the most viewed, like single view television spectacle perhaps of the year. This Super Bowl should have great ratings, by the way. It should have great ratings.
Yeah, because it's the people's Super Bowl.
The people's matchup.
Literally, like, we both want the Rams to win.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here right now. If the Rams don't win, I might be a little sad. But man, would it be so cool to see the friggin' Cincinnati Bengals win the Super Bowl?
It would be really cool. None of these
like
teams have won a Super Bowl before, so that's interesting too. But yeah, sorry, nerves do play a factor. You look at Pat McAfee, who talks about on his show. There was a clip. I'm a huge fan of that show where he talks about kicking off the Super Bowl when he played in it against the Saints. And he was basically saying like he was crapping his pants. He just wanted to make sure he got good contact because that's what you aim for. You don't really care about where it is. Good contact,
just as long as
the back of the end zone.
As long as you don't kick it out of bounds.
Yeah, don't kick it out of bounds. Just get it out the back of the end zone. So that plays a factor. So I think we have good argument.
I think we both mutually agree that it'll be a touchback. It'll be at the back of the end zone
for sure. Yeah.
But yeah, so those are we thought we'd mix it up a little bit and have some fun with those prop bets and again, if you guys, any of you listening or watching at home, if you guys want to go and research your own prop bets, there's some awesome ones out there. You can go down a very deep rabbit hole finding Super Bowl prop bets.
It's a good time. And speaking of good times, thank you for joining us for our Super Bowl special. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, we mentioned this. You mentioned this at the start, Ty. What's going to be your meal of choice for the Super Bowl?
Oh, that's
I want to hear your playbook as when it comes to Super Bowl meals, and specifically like your game day playbook.
That's
because obviously it's nothing but salads and water throughout the week.
What a phenomenal! Oh, dude, I barely ate anything the last couple of days. Just pounding the liquids, and when I said liquids, it's just mostly water. Just drink water.
Yeah.
Get your exercise in, and just make sure the day after the Super Bowl, you might want to fast for like 4 days after. I mean, oh my goodness. So that's a phenomenal question, by the way. That's a great question. I forgot that we mentioned last week that we would talk about meals. Got a bit. It's a cool thing planned. First of all, just basically, you're a clown if you're not having wings on the Super Bowl. Either some combination of pizza on its own, or wings on its own, or wings and pizza. You're a clown if you don't have any one of those items on the menu. I think I read a cool thing, or I saw this somewhere, that the Super Bowl is the only second of Thanksgiving in a day in the year in America where the most food is consumed. Super Bowl is second, followed behind Thanksgiving, which is that. I mean, that tells you how big the Super Bowl is, which is really cool. And Thanksgiving is also synonymous with football, which is awesome. But personally, you want some kind of, like, I know at my house we're having
take me through like a day, like a morning even.
The morning. Okay.
I gotta, right, let's just lay it all out there.
We got this all planned out. In the morning, we're having like a relatively light breakfast. It's actually, fun fact, I never go to McDonald's unless it's for breakfast, which is once breakfast, which is
wow,
a very little while. And I think they have a great breakfast. And I get this weird thing
called McMuffin.
Kind of, but it's called a chicken McMuffin, which is fairly new in Canada. It's only been around, I think it's been around the past year. It's basically just a one of their like piece of chicken, like you would get in a junior chicken or something like that, in between the egg McMuffin, and I add an egg to it, and it has a bit of mayo, and and I get a hash brown. I'm one of those weird guys who puts their hash brown in their sandwich.
Oh, geez.
It is phenomenal. So that's the breakfast. That's the morning thing. Nothing too big.
Oh my God.
For lunch, maybe like not even really having lunch, right? But maybe like a little chicken or salad or something like that. But then you go to dinner, and oh my God, the whole day is building up this thing. You're having, first of all, appetizer. And in that appetizer, a dip of some kind.
Nachos.
Yeah. Nachos.
Got it.
1 or 2 regular chips. My mom makes a great crab cheese dip, which is really good, or something along those lines. So I mean, I always look forward to that. And then for dinner, wings, of course, a little bit of homemade pizza.
Okay.
And then also obviously drinks and whatnot. I won't say what kind of drinks, but
yeah. No, we got it.
I don't think when people drink on the Super Bowl. And then obviously some kind of dessert, whatever that is to you. At my house, we have this great thing where it's cookie dough balls covered in milk chocolate that are frozen and then put back to room temperature. And my mom does them in the shape of a little football. So I mean, that's
crazy.
So it's a fun day.
Wow.
That's why you got to have a light meal working up the week, because you actually want to be hungry for when you eat your Super Bowl meal and enjoy it.
Yes.
Lachlan, do you have a plan? Because I assume you're going to be watching this in Massachusetts.
Yeah, so it's funny. We have
Shake Shack and Dunkin' Donuts.
No, no, Dunkin' Donuts. Tim Hortons is way better.
What a joke.
But we actually have a game. We have a home game on Super Bowl Sunday.
Oh no! Well, in the morning, though, in the afternoon, right?
Yeah, no, yeah, we have a game in the afternoon at 3:30 on Super Bowl Sunday.
You're gonna have to run home.
Get
out of there.
Yeah. So
make an injury in the second period.
No. We'll be good, but it'll be a regular kind of like game day routine for me. Like we'll have a game Saturday, so come home Saturday night, have dinner after the game, whatever, and get a good night's rest. Wake up, have a good breakfast, probably make myself like an omelet or something, maybe yogurt and berries before the game, make a smoothie, have a little light lunch, some chicken and salad before the game. And then after the game, it depends if we're doing anything as a team.
Sure.
Because if we're doing like, if we're going to like someone's house or something, watching Super Bowl, then like we might order like pizza or wings or something like that. Sure. But if I'm not sure what we're doing here, like I have no clue what we're going to be eating here, because we just really eat whatever like our billet mom cooks for us. So
I hear it's good meals though.
Oh yeah, the meals have been fantastic here, no complaints. But
no
whatever,
really,
whatever she cooks, we're like, oh yeah, we'll totally eat that.
Gobbling it down.
So I honestly have, in the morning, it's going to be like a normal kind of like game day meal kind of thing. But after that, I really don't know. I might have to call an audible,
Absolutely. People are going to have to call audibles all the time. I mean, last year we made a rookie mistake of ordering our wings too late, and wings.
That was bad.
It's the most in-demand thing during any football game, of course, but like particularly the Super Bowl. So make sure you order from just my advice here, order from a local place. Don't be ordering from the next town over 20-30 minutes away, because my Uber guy last year called us and was like, I've been waiting here for an hour and a half and I can't wait any longer. I'm dipping. I'm like, well, thanks, John, for ruining my Super Bowl meal. So we had to we call an audible, and we ended up getting Wild Wing, which I found out now, if you get the regular non-breaded wings, they are very good. And that's actually what I'm having for the Super Bowl this year. So you just got to plan ahead. It's a methodical process.
Absolutely. It has to be.
If it works out, it's one of the best nights of the year. It should be for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, that was fun.
That was interesting. Oh my God.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about a lot of things Super Bowl this episode. And again, we focused a lot more on football. If you've watched our Super Bowl special in the past from last year, we didn't really talk much football.
I mean, it was trivia mixed with questions about where Kansas City is.
It's just pure comedy on both of our parts. It was good stuff.
And this was fun too. I mean, the Super Bowl by nature is a mix of entertainment and sport. And I read obviously it's like I think around 30% of the people who watch the Super Bowl are there to watch the ads or the halftime show. They're actually not there to watch
Oh
the
yeah,
actual
the
football.
ads should be crazy too.
Yeah, so the ads
Man,
are always great.
the last year I remember the Bud Light night just got killed.
Yeah.
He got like pushed off a cliff last year in like the Super Bowl commercial. I remember we were in both of us were in boarding last year, and we were just kind of like, look, we're like, what?
Dude, yeah.
We all. I remember in one of our rooms because we were in different houses last year, right? So in our room, we were watching the game. We're like, did they just kill the Bud Light night?
That guy's got.
Like,
I'm pretty sure Post Malone was in that ad, and
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. It
that
was,
was.
but
Super Bowl
I
ads are
don't know.
always-
There's gonna be all kinds of shenanigans because for a 30-second time slot, it's like a couple $1 million, isn't it? For
yeah.
Super Bowl.
Oh, definitely.
It's crazy.
There's going to be a 30-second crypto ad this year, and they paid 16.
Really?
They paid $6.5 million for a 30-second slot, which is
All in Dogecoin.
all.
No.
But yeah, I mean, the best sporting spectacle in the world while the Olympics are going on. Bit of a mess over there in Beijing for some things. Actually, one of my teachers is a producer of the hockey games of the Olympics. He's in Beijing right now, which is pretty cool.
Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah, but he's I mean, it's on a strict schedule and a lot of weird things. So yeah, this is certainly going to overshadow the Olympics. I hate to say that, but
a little bit. I mean, the other thing is the Olympics go on for a couple weeks at a time, right? So the Super Bowl is a one night spectacle that everyone just kind of enjoys.
Definitely. A bunch of people will be watching. A bunch of celebrities going to be there. Dave Portnoy is going to be there. I think he's still banned from NFL games for the next 400 years.
Yeah, lifetime ban probably. I don't know, but anyway, I think we've covered everything we needed to cover here.
Yeah, it's just been a Super Bowl episode. It's been a mix of fun and football, like the actual Super Bowl, and we hope you all enjoy it. This is the last official football episode, I guess, during the season of the podcast,
which is nuts.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. 23 weeks, 23 episodes doing this. It's been a lot of fun. Thank you for joining us through this journey, and we hope you all enjoy the Super Bowl. I mean, it should be a great one. More than anything, as long as it's a good game, that's all we care about.
Yeah, I hope both teams have fun.
Yeah, I hope Joe Burrow doesn't get killed in the first quarter. Yeah,
well, but yeah, this just about wraps up episode 23 of the Fantasy Cast here. We will be back next week. We will be back for a little bit of Super Bowl recap. We'll also have a special interview for you as well. Mm-hmm. So stay tuned for that. And that interview will be fantasy football related. So if you have been missing our fantasy football content, next week will be a good one for sure.
Absolutely.
But for now, we hope you all get some rest, relaxation in.
Eat healthy, damn it.
Eat healthy until Sunday night. And it's gonna be a great game. Here's a game that circled on the calendar. Well, Chris Collinsworth. No.
Here's a
no. We probably
love Chris. And Chris is actually calling the Super Bowl with Al Michaels, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. They switch every year with network, but we landed on a good one this year. We don't know how many more years Al Michaels will be in broadcasting. He's getting up there in age, and he's one of personally probably my favorite of all time, but it should be a lot of fun.
Yeah. So anyway, enjoy the Super Bowl, everybody, and we will have recap next week on the Fantasy Cast. But for now, he's Ty White. I'm Lachlan McTagg. Have a great Super Bowl, everybody.